Welcome to episode 4 of Garage Talks. It's your boy Yasir, Yas Nation. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. For all the Muslims out there, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Ramadan. So today it's episode 4. We're going to be getting into a few things like the UFC 261 picks, the LeBron James tweet, is there a media double standard when it comes to NBA, who's my pick for NBA MVP, my top 10 draft, mock draft, and last but not the least, the topic of the country, the George Floyd. And the last topic of the day is going to be the George Floyd. Rest in peace. A lot of people thought that the court decision was right to find the officer Derek, I believe his last name is Chauvin, guilty on all charges. It's about time that this country has seen some justice. I do pray and hope that Mr. Floyd's family has some sort of peace in their lives after hearing this. And, as a country, hopefully we're moving towards a better future of, more equality and positivity as we've seen being pushed over time. With the LeBron tweet, I think as an athlete, yes, you're very careful of what you tweet, what you say, but I think in that moment, I think LeBron James just got very furious and did not think too much about tweeting and calling the officer, "You're next." And I can see where he's coming from. He has kids in his house of similar of that age. There could have been many actions that the cop could have taken rather than, killing that 16-year-old. She did have a knife in her hand, but I do think there's many things he could have done rather than just shooting her. So hopefully, I do hope that there's justice for all and justice in every department and aspect of life. And I hope we're working towards a society where there's more equality and more peace and less violence, because one day our kids are going to become part of this society, and we have to prepare them to see the best in the future and the worst, and make sure they use, all their tools that they have, religion, culture, friends, family, knowledge, education, everything that we can give them to make the best of decisions in the future in this world. All right, so we're close towards wrapping up the show. We'll let go of our few topics right now. Fully Unleashed. I'm going to start with the NBA MVP pick, and it seems like that my favorite player, LeBron James, will not be the MVP this year. But I do have the lock of Joker. I think Nikola Jokic has been very consistent throughout the year, and I would like to see him be rewarded. It's not too often that we see players of that caliber never getting a vote just because they don't play on a fancy team or they're not very marketable athlete. So I preferably would love to see Nikola Jokic, the Joker, win this award, and my vote goes to him. With the NFL draft and the top 10 picks, so I do see a few changes that could possibly happen, including trades. I do think a couple of teams are going to pull off some noise and get into that top 10 spot. But I do believe some of the locks are Jaguars at number 1. We all know they're going with the Golden Spoon. Trevor Lawrence, I think he's a great athlete. I think he has the arm, the hype's there. Will he leave? Will he live up to the hype in Jacksonville? I don't know because the pieces are definitely not there. But he does have a solid running back that he can play with. The Jets seems like we'll go with Zach Wilson, quarterback. I do think the Jets have decent pieces. He might just end up being just a normal quarterback like Sam Darnold, who everybody calls a great quarterback but never reaches their true potential because the weapons were never there. The surprise pick right now is the third, where it's 49ers. We don't know who they're going for with the quarterback situation kind of being iffy with porn star Jimmy. But I do believe they ride or die with their guy. I do think the Jimmy stays there. And I think that the 49ers will draft the offensive lineman Penny Sewell. He's a surprise pick in majority mock draft. He's in the bottom 5 of the first top 10. But I do think that's where they'll go. The first trade of the draft will come at number 4, according to me. From the Falcons, it's time that the Falcons already have Julio Ridley. The offense is stacked. Matty Ice is still there. I don't know how this team definitely sucks. I hate him. I know many people hate him. They're the biggest chokers, but I think they're going to choke away another potential future Hall of Famer in Kyle Pitts at tight end. I think they will trade out of this position, and who trades up, I really don't know. I have a feeling that it could be the Cowboys to come get him because that would make the Cowboys the most stacked offense in all of NFL with CeeDee Lamb, Zeke, Dak, Kyle Pitts. So that's where that happens. I think Bengals go with Jamar Chase, wide receiver. They line him up with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow just got his college mate, Thad Moss, Randy Moss's son. So I think that's where the top 5 rounds out. And then the bottom 5, I'll go real quick. I think Dolphins go with Jalen Waddle. I think the Patriots will trade up to the 8th spot and select Trey Lance, quarterback. The current 8th pick is with Carolina, so I think they will give out of that spot as they already have so many quarterbacks. They don't need too much more. Broncos go with Justin Fields, quarterback. And I think Dallas at number 10 will trade with the Falcons at number 4, so the number 10 spot will go to the Falcons, and I think the Falcons will will draft Patrick Surtain, cornerback, to address their defense that definitely sucks and gives up a lot of points every game. That's the NBA MVP and NFL Draft Top 10 take. Is there a media double standard? We've seen this topic arise in multiple arguments over various sports shows this week, where a lot of people are putting an emphasis on Steph Curry to be a top 3 MVP candidate, if not the MVP of the league. While a lot of people are noticing that these are the things that James Harden was doing when he was on the Houston Rockets, and he only has 1 MVP to show for it. But he performed at that level multiple times with better numbers than Steph Curry. I'm more on the side of, yes, there is a double standard. I do believe that the media have their darlings that they're either paid to promote or just genuinely that they like. For example, a lot of people say Houston is a city that is hated by the national media, regardless of its baseball, football, or basketball. So you guys tell me what you guys think. This was very brief, not too long. So leave it in the comments or the videos. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But do let us know what you guys think. Is there a double standard in sports? Hey everyone, just a quick message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me explain. First and foremost, it's free. And they're creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer or your iPad. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on many platforms, especially the most popular ones like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more across listening platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need in a podcast in one place. Believe me, I have used Anchor. I have used Anchor over the years for all my podcasts, and it's definitely one of the best platforms to use. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, last but not the least, we come down to the main event: Kamaru Usman versus Gamebred Jorge Masvidal. Usman is the younger athlete, the bigger one. Masvidal has been coming in smaller. But I do believe in this fight. I am rolling with the underdog Masvidal. I think he gets it right this time. Last time they fought was a very short notice. It was an international flight, no fans. It's completely different when the fans are in the house. It'll make the champion want to shut everybody down, hear the boos, while Masvidal can change the game with one punch. It's one punch or one kick, as we've seen in his last 2-3 fights with Nate Diaz and Ben Askren. Well, actually, now his name is Ben Askren after that Ash performance against Jake Paul. But this fight, take the underdogs, Jorge Masvidal. But unlike everybody else, I do believe this fight will go the distance. I don't think Masvidal would knock him out. Masvidal will take this fight to the distance, and I think he will win that way rather than the most popular opinion out there that Masvidal will knock him out. So, if you want, again, y'all know my history with gambling. The worst better to ever step foot on the face of this earth. But again, Jorge Masvidal plus 330, book it. Bet the mortgage. So for the next women's strawweight fight, we have Weili Zhang versus Rosa Namajunas, who I think is going to be very dominant. Rosa is the younger fighter between the two. She has been coming off a few losses. The weight and the reach are kind of even. The height's kind of even. And, a lot of people have Zhang as a lock to win this, to go up initially to chase Amanda Nunes, and get a little closer to the GOAT status. But I do believe that Rose will surprise everybody and have a more stand-up fight and avoid the takedowns. And I think Rose will have an upset win in this matchup. Now we have the title bout. Shout out to my boy Zucky. His girl loves to cause problems. Last time I went to go see her, I was definitely a fan when the last UFC event happened with the full crowd in Houston. Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. I do believe that Shevchenko will cause a havoc in the octagon. I think she's going to clean up within 3 rounds. And I am going with a submission win for Shevchenko. Next fight is the middleweight. We're talking about Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman. Always been a fan of Chris. It's just that I feel like he never truly gets to that top-notch performance when it counts the most. Kind of like Cowboy Cerrone, who's always been a great fighter, but when it came to that big shining light, spotlight moments, he never came through. So Uriah Hall versus Weidman, both are 36. The height, it's about a 2-inch advantage for Weidman. They're both coming in at 185. Uriah Hall has about 1.5-inch reach. But in this fight, I am going with my favorite, Chris Weidman. And you can lock this. Chris Weidman. Again, you guys know my English is bad. How many times I got to mess up words? But I'm just going to keep it the easy way. I do believe that Chris will knock this man out. So if you want to hit the books, put it on Chris, knock out Uriah Hall. You heard it here first. Let's go. We're going to talk about UFC 261 coming tomorrow from Florida. It's the first full UFC event, or actually sports event with complete crowd. The fans are back. I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere there. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with the pay-per-view card that includes 5 fights, 3 title bouts. So let's go. We're going to start with the light heavyweight. Anthony Smith, who's 34-16, 0 draws, and Jimmy Crute, who's 12-1. In this fight, I am personally going with Anthony Smith. I do believe that the experience is going to take over the fight, as Anthony Smith's been in the game for a very long time. He has about 2-inch reach advantage also, so I am going to go with Anthony Smith. And to be honest, I don't even know who Jimmy Crute is. As y'all can see, I'm messing up names, so don't know much about this fight, but I'm going with the veteran Anthony Smith. All right, everybody, that is all for episode 4. We've covered all the great topics. I would love to hear back from you guys on our Instagram or Twitter. Let us know what you liked. What do you think about the topics that we covered, things that we can better upon. We want to make sure we present the best show. We try to keep it short, sweet, and simple, as there's so many podcasts out there. Everybody's presenting something different. So we just want to make sure when you tune in, you have fun, what you listen to. You're having a good time. Just a little bit of laugh goes a long way. And yes, people have been, a few things I just want to address real quick. I've gotten a few messages over Instagram saying, hey, where's Lucky Shot TJ Hassan? What's going on? Where are the video episodes? So I'm going to go ahead and address this. So Zaki, Shaw, TJ, and Hassan have chosen not to be on the show anymore. They each have their own reasons. From what I've been told, that they were so-called creative differences. There's just certain things that I wanted to do with the show that I thought would make it look different than everything else. And then they had their opinions of, having these things could make the show better. So we had our differences, and, they've chosen not to pursue the show anymore or come on. I hope they still listen to it. If not, hey, we're all boys. We're going to stay boys. The video episodes, they will come back. I'm actually been taking for the last 2 episodes, I believe. I'm trying to get a few guests to come on, because I don't think a show just by myself on video is a lot to watch. I want to provide the best content. So I'm working with a few local friends of mine, some people around the city that are well known. So as soon as we get everybody scheduled, cleared up, the video episodes will come back. I can't wait to see y'all, and I can't wait to share video episodes with y'all. So everybody stay tuned in, share, support, subscribe. We love all that good stuff. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy your family. And, stay tuned in, because whatever happens in the garage talks stays in the garage talks.